Hi, Piari. Welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
That's great. Well, it's great to catch up after the Digitox Restore 6-week program. It was really lovely having you and Pillai on the program. And thanks so much for your time here today to give a review, which can help other people to see what it's like inside the program and how you guys did. So how old is Pillai now? Is he 14 or 15?
Yeah, 14 and a half.
Okay, so going on 15. All right, so I just wanted to ask you, what was Pele's reaction when you told him about the detox part of the program?
Yeah, he was terrified. So there was luckily enough of a lead up time, which we really needed to prepare for it, for
Yeah,
him to prepare for it. And I didn't go into too much detail in the beginning because his reaction always was really defensive, and he always said that he didn't have a problem, he didn't want to admit, but he was really addicted to screens. And yeah, I felt like it was out of control. So it was awesome to do this program. I'm so happy to do a review for you online. Yeah.
great, thank you. What devices was Pele engaging in?
So he has a phone, an iPhone. So of course, you know, everything on it.
Yeah,
And he was also using an Xbox for a while. So he was using a PlayStation before that, then it changed to an Xbox. And there was specific games like Fortnite. I remember when that one came in, he started playing that game that I noticed a really huge problem where he became really, really addicted. And then I did a whole bunch of things. I had a router that I was able to change the settings and put on time restrictions, but it was always a fight between us about it. So even though I was trying as much as I could to control it, the main problem that I had was the conflict between us and him not being able to be aware that he had a problem, and I wanted to empower him. So when you approached me about the program that you're doing, I think it's amazing. So I was really happy to be on board. I wasn't scared about it, but I was also, because I have shared parenting, I wasn't sure how he was going to be when he was at his dad's. So that was also a little bit, that was my hesitation, I guess, with the program.
yeah, that's quite common when a lot of the kids that are spending 1 week with you, 1 week with the partner. Did you find that you were supported enough in the program to help with the skills and communication needed to bridge that gap with both households being involved?
Yes,
Right.
you were amazing. It was so
Okay.
good because, yeah, because
It's a
even though
common problem that we have, so we
yeah.
do need to have both parties involved. Yeah, so that was good. Okay, and how did you go once? So Pele wasn't over the moon about doing the program. What were some of his reactions?
Before.
Yeah, when you told him about the program, and maybe the first few days into the detox part of the program after the initial preparation.
Uh, he was terrified, and the way that came out was he kept on saying he doesn't need it. Why are we doing this? Scoffing at it, like, how ridiculous, this is silly. And then it kind of became more desperate as the days went on, until finally he just had to accept that it was coming, and we didn't talk about it very much. But yeah, he was worried particularly about, I'm not going to be able to have any friends, I'm not going to be able to do anything, I'm not going to, there
Yep.
was concerns in every way, because he didn't even know how he would function. And so he was saying, but I have to have a phone, how can I call you, everything. And I had an answer to all his questions, so he couldn't argue. But yeah.
Great. So you felt prepared enough to answer all the questions, the common questions that they try and find a way to sort of, they can be manipulative at times when they're trying to get us to not do this awful program. It's going to ruin my life and my social life. But did you find that it, in fact, was he isolated socially? Did he suffer for very long or throughout the program?
I felt like I should have I did contact the school, but I could have done a little bit more looking back by contacting all of his friends and the school and letting them know about the program and what I was doing, even to see if they're interested in doing it, because that would have been more supportive.
Yeah, it can
but
help.
I didn't take the time to do too much of that. And through having that experience, the teachers were overwhelmed, delighted that I was doing such a program and interested, of course. But his friends, no, he wasn't isolated. And if anything, I think that he found some true friends, friends that are willing to sacrifice their screen time to just be with him.
Oh. See, you often find that they're so worried initially, and also parents are worried initially that they're going to isolate their child socially, but it often is. I see it so many times, it's the reverse. They have a truer connection. That's great.
Just one more thing about that point. The way that I made sure that he was going to not have any screen time throughout that time was that any friends he wanted to be with would come to my house. And I just had to make myself available, all the time, that I was here to be with him and support him throughout the whole detox, or someone was going to be able to be with him the whole.
Yeah, that's great. It's worth it for that short period of time. What changes did you notice in Pillai? There may be changes in sleeping, eating, behaviour, learning, interest in other activities. Did you notice any changes throughout the course and even post-course?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess the first thing that I noticed, I was surprised at the reaction that he had, even though you prepared us for it and you talked about it, until I actually saw it for myself. I was surprised, but he was shocked. Like, he couldn't even believe, because he didn't think it was real. And then on the first day, it happened really quickly. I think it was only a couple days. And he was so angry, depressed. He cried a few times, just really, really sensitive. And through that reaction, it shocked him, because he realized that there was something real going on, that it was a real problem. Everything we talked about was real. So the changes in him, he kind of, after that first initial reaction, he sort of didn't talk about it very much, because he knew it was true. He could understand logically that there was an issue. And so he kind of quickly just started trusting me, and what needed to do a lot of physical activity. He was going out for bike rides, and he went for a surf, and he went for, anything that he could do. He was just getting out there. I ordered before with that time for preparation, so I made sure that we had card games and board games, and had any kind of activities sort of ready, so that I'd be ready when he said he's bored and he doesn't know what to do. But he was looking for the activities. He didn't even say he was bored. Yeah, that's what he used to say before, when he had the phone and had the devices. He always used to say that he was bored. He didn't even say it this time. Yeah.
Great. And any changes in his sleeping?
Yeah, it's really interesting, because I haven't thought a lot about it, but when you ask, before the detox, he commented that he needed to sleep a lot, and he did always sleep a lot. So it wasn't like he was staying up late on his devices. Like, I never let that happen too much. So he'd go to bed, he'd get enough sleep, and even sleep too much. And he was always commenting that he was tired. And ever since then, he seems to be way more productive, and there's been that hasn't been an issue. He hasn't said anything about it. So there's definitely been a change with his sleep patterns.
That's great. That's a great sign that they're having a rest from the digital devices. Their body just goes into resting and sleep, and it reorganizes the sleeping patterns. So Yeah, that's really good news. And anything around, you're saying that he was not so bored after, so he's finding his own activities and filling his own, so-called boredom. He's filling that up himself. So what happened after the detox? You noticed some good changes in communication between each other, you were saying, and he wasn't as bored easily. Did you decide to give back the devices at all? What happened after that? And how are you guys going now?
Yeah, thanks for asking. I left all the devices with me. So when he was with his dad, the detox ended. There was a gap of about 3 days. So that was the initial 21 days, which I let him know that it's not just a 3-week detox. It depends how he's going and if he's cheated here and there and what effect it has on him. But that was really good to have a goal to set for him, that if he did this right, that at the end of the 3 weeks, he'd get the screens back. He didn't ask like I thought he would. He wasn't asking for it or begging for it right on the day that it came back. He just wanted to know. So he gave me a call and he said, okay, do you, where's all my stuff? This is that. And I told him, I said, yeah, no, I've got everything here. So in 3-4 days time, when you come to me, we can talk about it. I just want to talk about it before giving you anything back. And so then when he came, I think it was about a day before he even asked, and I didn't instigate it. So then we talked about it, and I just, explained to him, and I asked him what he was feeling and how he felt through the detox, kind of similar to what you're asking me, and just trying to get him empowered and have a little bit of awareness of how he feels now and how the detox was for him. And he was super positive. Like, it was amazing. I just couldn't believe, how engaging he was, and, admitting even at that point when he's being offered the devices back, that he was like, yeah, there is a problem. I've noticed this. He was kind of talking to me about how he's how he likes to do other things, and he doesn't really care. He doesn't want to use the devices the same way that he used them before. And so that was incredible. And I gave him back his phone. And then we just put some kind of an app on there, or so that we can monitor, so that I can see how much he's using his screen, but so can he.
Yeah.
So that then we could just look at it as we deal, as time progresses, we can see. And I want him to be empowered to be able to understand himself if anything creeps back into it.
Yeah. I think at this age they need a bit of support with helping them to monitor it. It's sort of around, when they get a little bit older, that they can be totally self-empowered. So it's great that he's got you supporting him with monitoring that. And he was aware, which is really fantastic. You're saying he was aware of, his own addiction to it.
Yeah. I want to tell you, though, what happened when I actually gave it back to him. So that was the conversation about it when he was getting everything. And then I think it was like a week later when he had a friend over and he asked about the Xbox. So we were okay, with the phone. And then he asked about the Xbox, and I said yes. And I gave it to him, and we were starting to set it up, and I was cooking dinner, and he had his friend over, and it was myself and my partner, and we were getting dinner ready. And I sort of asked him about, simultaneously, I asked him to do some of his chores, like to put the dishes away. But what happened was incredible. Like he went into exactly like a drug addict. He was, the anticipation that he knew, just the psychology that he knew the Xbox was there. He was trying to set it up to the TV. His whole demeanor changed, and he started like being really rude and disrespecting me, and saying, set the Xbox up for me now, give me the cable, set it up for me now. And I said, no. I said, come and finish unloading the dishwasher, something like minor. And he said, no, you set the Xbox up for me right now. And so that whole issue started some big changes about, one, how he treats me and disrespecting me, and all these things that happened within the family, and, you know, really serious changes from that. But it was all because of the Xbox. And so immediately, you know, I took the Xbox away. I like had to, it happened a second time. Actually, I let it kind of go. I didn't realize it. It took me a little while to realize it. I let him play on the Xbox, and then he just got worse. When he was playing, he got even worse and said even more horrible things to me. And then I like took it away, and we talked about it the next day. I let him sleep on it, and we talked about it the next day. And then I presented it to him, and I said, look, you know, this is the problem with the way you're talking to me, and, you know, here's the consequences. This is what's going to happen. And I said, but I want you to understand that all of this happened the moment you were going to be able to play with the Xbox.
Yeah, such a strong
and he did.
to it.
He was really open, and he listened, like he was receptive. And that's totally different. That's totally different to the way that it was before the detox. So all these amazing changes have taken place, you know, from like our communication and him being more receptive. So I can see that that's completely, you know, a change from the way that he was before.
Wow. So it's such a strong pull having the Xbox there. So he must have seen that for himself, the strong urge for him to want to play that, and his change in behavior. He may have noticed that himself, but you certainly noticed it.
Just to finish that story, I think it's really relevant. He agreed to sell the Xbox. Like he wanted it out of his life. To sell the Xbox. Get rid of it. You know, I told him,
well, that's.
And he said, yeah, I can sell it. So I mean, just to show you that.
Wow, there you go. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that, because, you know, it's just such a strong stimulation. It hooks the brain into such a strong addiction that I'm so happy to hear that. That's great. Wonderful news. And you know that we always, you know, the program's not ever over. You're always welcome to come back into the forum to help with sharing with the community with different skills to share, and also to find out what to do, you know, with as technology comes in stronger and stronger. We can stay on the forefront, empowered with what to do with our kids, on how to keep them in control of their own technology use, and also with the parents. So you've always got that support with dealing with the phone and Xbox and anything else that comes out too. So that is really great. So just an overall question, did you feel that you had enough support in the program? Did you have enough support and community to get you through some of the trickier times it sounds like you had there with, you know, with coming off the internet?
Absolutely. I think that it's really like following all of the instructions, all the information that you gave was perfect. And the support that you offered individually and through everybody else, I mean, it seems really individual. Everybody has different cases, and you don't quite know what's going to come up from it. So I felt really, really supported. And even just now, like what you said, I mean, that's amazing, because I feel like it could just creep back up in your life. You don't know what to do, but to have it continue is amazing. Yeah, so absolutely.
Oh, that's so good, Piari. Thank you so much for sharing. And if there's anything else you'd like to share, most welcome to do so. But otherwise, thank you so, so much for the review.
Awesome. Thank you.
And thanks to Pillai as well.
Yeah, I will. I'll tell him. Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.